Well, hello, and welcome back to my little podcast, Quest for You. And this is episode 264, and I'm Janine. And thank you for being here. Starting out with a quote by Mike Murdoch. You will never change your life until you change something you do daily. I believe that part of the reason that many of us don't advance, don't change, and don't accomplish our dreams is that we beat ourselves up too much over the things that we cannot do. Let me tell you straight up, nothing will come from that. You lost 10 pounds and now you gained it all back in 2 weeks. You're not alone. It happens to all of us. You quit smoking and drinking and did well for a year, but now you started again and you're beating yourself up over it. Why can I not do it? What's wrong with me? We make progress and we regress. Sometimes we try again, and when the same thing happens, we often give up. We get stuck in beating ourselves up over our failures. We tell ourselves all sorts of stories. We're not meant for this, it's genetic, we're not good enough or smart enough. We battle with disappointment. We spend energy on a lost cause. Life is full of setbacks. We can ask all day long why it didn't work out. We can blame ourselves, and rightfully so, because often we are to blame. If you have been listening to my podcast for a while, then you may know a little about me. And I do not like dwelling over past stuff. I've done it enough in my life, and it didn't get me where I had hoped. So I look forward, and I've found that I don't always have the best plan when it comes to building good habits and making my dreams come true. But as long as I move into the general direction of where I want to go, things come together eventually. You see, we often take an all or nothing approach. This one diet will get me to the desired weight. This specific exercise routine will do it. This one job will get me the title and promotion I'm looking for. And when it doesn't work out, we get stuck. We don't know what is next. Throughout my life, I've been stuck many times. I didn't sometimes even notice it. Years would fly by and I couldn't figure out what to do. I would tell everyone, eventually I will run a marathon when I'm not injured anymore. In the meantime, I would battle during my morning runs, never getting much beyond 12 miles of practice in. The same was true for many other things. And today I realize I was stuck in a one-way road, my way or the highway. And I didn't see a way out because I thought there was only one way. The best remedy for past failures is not to beat yourself up, because it wastes time. The best remedy for blindness is action. You may not be able to see clearly. It happens to the best of us. We're so convinced that it has to be a certain way, that this is the only way it will work, that it has to be this. But you don't have to get stuck. You can always move, even without a clear destination or a detailed direction, by adding on. Adding on, you may wonder. Yes, add on every single day. 1%, 0.5%, maybe some days nothing. But try to add on. Good habits, new behaviors, solid routines, lifelong goals, and big dreams. They all take time. But too often, we don't ever reach them because we are trapped in our one-way street of failed attempts. Adding on works because it gets you out of stuck mode. Adding on means moving forward. When you ate your hard-lost 10 pounds back on during your 2 weeks in Europe, you start over when you return. And you start simple. Start with one thing you know that works. Maybe a 20-minute evening walk, or cutting out sodas. Don't get overwhelmed because work is busy after that long vacation. I know it is. I've been there. It's unfeasible to start a big diet and exercise regimen right after vacation. So you ease your way into it with one step, and then you add on from there, slowly but steadily. Adding on means learning from your mistakes and correcting them along the way. We overcomplicate the analyzing part, and that is what keeps us stuck. We overthink why it didn't work. We find reason and explanations, and those slowly turn into excuses. By moving forward, you learn much quicker, often by trial and error or by watching others. Every time I've failed and started over, I've come back stronger. Most things I do, I start radical. 6 workouts a week or a 500-calorie diet. I'm pretty intense when it comes to my goals. But of course, these radical goals fail after a while. And that then forces me to think and reconsider. And I'll try again. And I'll learn along the way. Today, when I gain 10 pounds on vacation, for example, I'm not really in shock anymore. I know exactly what to do to drop them. But I have to keep at it. Sitting there and overthinking will only add another 10 pounds. Adding on the good slowly eliminates the bad. I especially find this to be true. My free time is consumed by 3 major things: exercising, working on my podcast, and social time. The more I want to focus on 1 or 2 or all 3 of them, the less time I will have left for other, often distracting things. Just right now, before recording this episode, I'm looking on Amazon and reading articles and looking at my Instagram feed. But I had to stop because I have to record these episodes and get them done. So even if my podcast is still very small, with very few listeners, and my body is not in the shape that I want it to be, and I don't yet have the kind of friends or partner I really want, the more I work towards my goal, the closer I will get. Things that used to distract me don't anymore. For example, Saturday night bar hopping or Friday happy hour with coworkers was often on my agenda years ago. I didn't really intentionally quit those activities, but they got crowded out by other, better activities. Those that make sense for me, those that are more in line with my life goals. I have a stricter exercise regimen that I'm trying to follow, and that puts me in the gym most Fridays. That means less time for happy hour. And then my healthy diet doesn't really permit much alcohol. When I drink, I often feel bad the next day, dehydrated and tired. So now I don't look forward to meeting my friends at the bar anymore. And I save so much time that was spent lounging around in bed on Sunday mornings trying to recover from those long nights. This is the magic of adding on. Adding on will eventually get you where you want to go. By focusing on your goals, one small step at a time, you're slowly making the changes you're looking to make. You're becoming the person you really want to be, despite having failed on your one big goal. I often think back. When friends canceled on me on a Saturday night, my world would fall apart. What do you mean you can't go out? What am I going to do now? Now, I always hope that nobody invites me to a bar anymore, because it's the worst thing I can think of doing with my time. When you slowly add on to the things that are important to you, the ones that are not as important will slowly fade in the background. And you won't even notice it at first. And in fact, you will not know that these things didn't add any value to your life until they're gone. You'll find yourself really busy because you added another exercise class, or enrolled in an arts course, or you're volunteering at a shelter. You feel bad because you have to cancel the brunch with your friends, or the party at your neighbor's house, or the poker night with your buddies. For a while, it feels like you are taking on too much. And people will tell you that. Those are the people that you are putting off. But you know, in your heart, it feels right. You're learning and you're growing, and you're getting really good at this thing that you're doing. You're meeting people and you're having fun. And one day you realize that your life has changed. You have changed. That you don't even miss poker and parties and dinners anymore. And most importantly, you see the progress. You worked your way slowly towards that big, intimidating goal that you gave up on years ago. You're not stuck anymore, like the rest of your friends, doing what they've always done. Because you added on, day by day. And now you've added a new skill to your repertoire. You found a new passion, maybe even a new source of income. And you're moving into a new direction. Small steps, tiny improvements every day will gradually lead to the change you want. Do not worry about the failure, the rejection, the missed opportunity. Simply move again. Even if you don't have a plan, a gym membership, money, or much time. Just do something. Anything will do. Action always beats inaction. Experimentation is better than being stuck. And movement is better than laziness. Over time, those actions start compounding on each other. In the beginning, your improvements will be so small, they seem practically non-existent. You won't even notice them. You may even change steps, trying something new because you think what you're doing is not working. It's okay. All movement is good, because it will eventually lead you onto the right path. James Clear writes, "We place unnecessary stress on ourselves to lose weight or to succeed in business or to write a best-selling novel. Instead, you can keep things simple and reduce stress by focusing on the daily progress and sticking to your schedule, rather than worrying about the big, life-changing goals. When you focus on the practice instead of the performance, you can enjoy the present moment and improve at the same time. Try to add on something small today. Maybe you go for a 10-minute walk, or you walk 5 minutes longer than yesterday, or you take your camera and go out and finally take a few pictures like you've been meaning to do. Maybe you pick up the phone and just give that friend that's been on your mind a call. Maybe you eat a little bit healthier tomorrow. Prep your lunch. Don't go out for drinks like you always do on a Friday night. Do something, even if it's just one small thing, and then add on slowly. Much love.